Last week, I introduced something I call the fade. The slow, quiet way men in midlife start to fade. Today, we're going deeper on one dimension of it, the social fade. So here's a question for you. When was the last time you had a real conversation with another man? Not about work, not about the game, not about your kid's schedule. A conversation where you actually said something true about how you're doing. For most of us, that's a hard question, and the answer is harder. And of course, it's not a personal failure. It's just the social fade. Your connections didn't break. They just kind of slowly evaporated. So slowly you didn't even notice. And that's what we're talking about today. So this isn't just a feeling. There's real data behind it. And it's worse than most people realize. The Survey Center on American Life found that the number of men who said they have no close friends has risen sharply over the past few decades. Not fewer friends, no close friends. And middle-aged men report fewer close friends than women by a wide margin. We're not talking about a small gap, we're talking about a pattern. And here's the one that kind of stopped me cold. Researchers at BYU found that chronic loneliness carries the same mortality risk as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Loneliness can be more dangerous to your health than smoking and obesity. And us men are more likely to report feeling lonely, but less likely to do anything about it. And of course, the pandemic made it worse, a lot worse. And in 2023, the U.S. Surgeon General issued a formal advisory calling loneliness a public health epidemic, not a trend, an epidemic. We talk about heart disease, we talk about diabetes, but we don't talk about this. Loneliness is a health crisis, and for men, it's a silent one that nobody is talking about. So why is this happening to men specifically? It's not random. There's a pattern here. Think about where your closest friendships were formed. Sports teams, college dorms, the military, early jobs where you're all kind of grinding it out together. These weren't accidents, these were structures. Places where you showed up at the same time, did something together, and that connection happened without you having to force it. Men don't typically bond through conversation alone. We bond shoulder to shoulder, not face to face. We bond working on something, playing something, building something. That's just how it works for us. But here's the problem. In midlife, those structures disappear. You graduate, you change jobs, you move cities, you have kids, and the calendar fills with obligations, work, family, commute, household. There's no time left over. And the environments that used to create friendships, they're gone. Sociologists talk about two things friendships need: repeated unplanned interaction and shared vulnerability. And of course, adult life is designed to eliminate both of those things. You have to schedule everything, and vulnerability, that's not exactly on the agenda between conference calls and the kids' soccer practice. And here's the other thing. Men aren't socialized to maintain friendships through direct outreach. Women call each other, they text, they make plans. Men, we wait for proximity to create the connection for us. And in midlife, proximity just stops delivering. We just drift. And then there's also the permission problem. Men are conditioned to be self-sufficient. Needing connection feels like a weakness. I should be fine on my own. That's not just a thought, it's a belief a lot of us carry. And asking another grown man to hang out feels awkward in a way that it never did in our 20s. And the result, men suffer in silence. They suffer in silence rather than the risk of reaching out. The social fade is the quietest one. Nobody announces they're lonely. They just stop getting called, they stop being invited, and they stop expecting anyone to notice. So I want to tell you a little bit about what I've seen as a personal trainer, because I've been watching this happen for years. During workouts, something shifts. We're doing the work, shoulder to shoulder, focusing on the movements, and then between sets, the guys start to open up. They tell me things they probably haven't said out loud to anyone, about their marriage, their job, their kids. They tell me about what's keeping them up at night. Sometimes I have to pull them back into the workout because the conversation probably goes a little bit deeper than they expected. And then after sessions, guys want to hang around, 5-10 minutes, just talking. Not about training, about life. And I love that. And I realized for some of these men, this is the only space they have where that happens. And then I also do paid consultations, 30-minute sessions where we're supposed to talk about health and fitness goals. And we do at first, but more often than not, the conversation drifts into personal stuff. Challenges they're dealing with, things they're carrying. It's not what they signed up for on paper, but it's what they actually needed. So here's the pattern. Men come in saying they want to lose weight, saying they want to get stronger, and that's the surface goal. But what keeps them coming back, what actually drives the progress, is the connection. Feeling like someone's in their corner, having a place where they're seen. The men who make the most progress aren't the ones with the best program. They're the ones who feel like they belong somewhere, the ones who aren't fading alone. So what do you do about this? I'm not going to pretend there's a quick or easy fix, because there isn't. But there are real steps you can take. First, and this is important, needing connection isn't a weakness, it's biology. We are literally wired for it. When you're isolated, your body responds like it's under threat. Stress hormones, inflammation, the works. This isn't soft stuff. Your need for connection is as real as a need for food or sleep. Second, start with some structure, not spontaneity. Don't wait for friendships to magically appear. Put yourself in environments where they can form. A gym class, a volunteer group, a small church group, a recreational sports league, something where you show up at the same time with the same people and do something together. That's how it worked when you were younger. It still works now. You just have to choose it. And then the third thing, lower the bar. A friend doesn't have to mean someone you share your deepest secrets with. Start with the guy you see regularly and enjoy talking to. That's a seed. Let it grow from there. And fourth, be the initiator. Here's the truth. If every man is waiting for the next guy to reach out, nobody moves. Send the text, suggest the coffee. Of course it'll feel a little awkward. Do it anyway. Somebody's got to go first. Let that person be you. And then if you're really struggling, if the loneliness has turned into something heavier, talk to someone. Talk to a professional, a counselor, a therapist. There's no shame in it. I've done it. It might be the most courageous thing you do this year. Fighting the social fade means choosing to show up. It means being the guy who reaches out first. And here's the thing. When you do that, you're not just helping yourself. You're being a brother to another man who's probably feeling the same thing and doesn't know how to say it. We're in this together. That's the only way out. Lifting each other up, making each other stronger. That's what men do when they refuse to fade. So here's what I want you to take away from this today. If you're a man in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and you feel lonely, you're not broken, you're not weak, you're experiencing something that millions of men go through right now, including myself. And most of them think they're the only ones. But you're not. And the fact that you're listening to this tells me you're the kind of man who refuses to just let it happen. So next week we're going to talk about something directly connected to this isolation. The mental health crisis facing men. I call it the silent battle because when these connections disappear, something darker tends to fill the void. For too many men, that something is depression, anxiety, and despair. Things they never talked about and things they never address. That's the emotional fade. It's one of the most dangerous dimensions of what we're fighting against today. So I'll see you next week. If this episode hit home for you, or if you know a man who needs to hear it, share it with him. And if you want to go deeper, sign up for the newsletter at againstthefade.com. My name is Jonathan. This is Against the Fade.